The best Bighorn Basin Excursion, Big Horn Canyon. Welcome to our adventure at the Big Horn Canyon National Recreation Area, a stunning travel destination for families and history buffs. Known for its dramatic cliffs and deep canyons, this breathtaking national park offers an impressive combination of natural beauty, wildlife, and historical ranch sites. In this video, I'll dive into its captivating geological features and its ranching history. Take the turn onto Wyoming's Medicine Wheel Passage Scenic Byway to enter the Big Horn Basin. Big Horn Basin in northwest Wyoming is bound on the west by the Beartooth and Absaroka Mountains. On the south are the Wind River and Owl Creek Ranges. On the north, the Pryor Mountains, and on the east are the Bighorns. The basin is nearly elliptical in shape, about 140 miles long and 100 miles wide. In the Pryor Mountains is the first national wild horse range. It provides sanctuary for about 200 wild Mustangs. We're going to show off the wild Mustangs that roam the park, and what would be a visit to Big Horn Canyon without seeing bighorn sheep. Northeast of the basin, atop Medicine Mountain, at an elevation of 9,642 feet, that's almost 10,000 feet, lies the Medicine Wheel, a mysterious circle of stones 80 feet in diameter. Medicine Wheel is our bonus stop, but you'll need to hang on to see this archaeological wonder after I tell you about the canyon and the Mustangs. Whether you're planning your next summer vacation or are an armchair traveler eager to explore unique geographical and historical sites from home, this video will take you on an unforgettable journey through the Big Horn Canyon and the Big Horn Basin. Travel across America with me. The Medicine Wheel Passage Scenic Byway follows a 27-mile segment of U.S. Highway 14A, a two-lane paved road suitable for all vehicles. That's important because you need to take note. It is usually open during May to mid-November. Winter weather prevents general access to cruise this scenic byway. For that matter, the weather in Big Horn Canyon can change in minutes. A trip here should be planned to take all types of weather into consideration. When we were there, forest fires in the mountains were threatening to cut off travel on U.S. Highway 14, meaning hundreds of miles out of the way to return to the RV park in Manchester. We accessed the South District of the 120,000-acre Big Horn Canyon National Recreation Area from Wyoming. Even though the bulk of the park lies within Montana, you must enter from Wyoming. The South District Visitor Center is located in the town of Lovell and is the best place to start your visit. Grab a park map and be sure to stamp your passport book. Tell me in the comments below if you have a passport book. After leaving the Visitor Center, head east for 2 miles on Highway 14A and turn north on Wyoming Highway 37 to reach the park, home of one of the most dramatic canyons in the West. Here, the Bighorn River flows through the fault line between the Pryor and Bighorn mountain ranges. Bighorn Canyon is one of the deepest and most dramatic canyons in the northern U.S. The awe-inspiring Devil Canyon Overlook is the premier stop for unbeatable views of the steep-walled canyon and Bighorn Lake. Bighorn Lake reaches to the depths of 500 feet and extends through the entire canyon. 15 miles inside the park, take the marked eastbound road off the main park road to reach this overlook. This spot and the area's dramatic landscapes are perfect for photographers and hikers. Plan a picnic here at the confluence of the Bighorn River and Porcupine Creek. More than 1,000 feet below, look for motorboats. Someone said the boats look like miniatures in a bathtub. Return to the main park road, travel north to see 3 of the historic ranch sites. The park road ends in 11 miles from this turnoff. Tell me in the comments below, what is the most beautiful canyon you have been to so far? We hiked 5 of the South District's 10 trails. 3 of the hikes were to 3 of the park's 4 historic American West ranches: the 1896 Ewing Snell Family Ranch, Cedar Vale Ranch, and the Lockhart Ranch. We recommend to visit at least the latter 2 because a substantial number of buildings remain, giving visitors a true feel for the rugged, rural lifestyle required to survive there. These symbols of a not-so-long-ago past tell a story of hope and hardship in one of the most rugged landscapes in North America. Explanatory handouts are available for each ranch at the trailheads. From the legendary days of the open range to the beginning of a tourist dude ranch, step back in time as you explore each ranch, which was remote and tucked away in a valley or near a hillside, sheltered from the harsh climate. Water ran through the sites, making orchards and vegetable gardens commonplace. Cattle and horses roamed the surrounding pasture lands, while milk cows and chickens were kept closer. It all sounds wonderful, right? But if you could ask the ranchers, they would tell you it was a lot of hard work. The individuals that lived at these ranches had their own goals and ideas behind moving to the remote area of Bighorn Canyon. Now abandoned by their previous tenants, these ranches are an important part of the Bighorn Canyon story. The National Park Service invites visitors to walk around and imagine how life was for the hardy folks that called these places home. Before we look at each ranch, would you please subscribe? And if you are a subscriber, thanks for watching my videos. We went to the Ewing Snail Ranch first. It is now named after the man who established it and the family that lived there the longest. Erastus T. Ewing moved to the canyon in 1896 with his family and his partners in search of gold. After finding only a minimal amount of gold, the partners left, but the Ewing family stayed and turned to ranching. After changing ownership several times, Philip and Alma Snell purchased the ranch in 1920. Next stop, the Cedarvale Ranch at Hillsboro. Grosvenor W. Berry was also drawn to the canyon by gold. By 1903, he too realized that he wasn't going to get rich. Being a promoter at heart, Berry and his family turned to dude ranching. He advertised his Cedarvale Ranch as a sportsman's paradise, where guests could stay all summer. Mr. Berry died of a brain tumor in Billings, Montana in January of 1920. Mrs. Edith Berry and Claude St. John continued to operate the dude ranch for several years after his death, eventually turning solely to cattle and horse ranching. The ranch operated until the late 1950s. That's not all that long ago. The easy to moderate Hillsboro Trail is a 1 mile or can be extended to a 3-mile round trip hike. Last of the 3 ranches we visited was owned by Caroline Lockhart. Lockhart was not the first resident at her ranch in the Dry Head area. Caroline arrived to pursue her dream to become the cattle queen of Montana. Remember, most of the park is in Montana, but you have to enter through Wyoming. Purchasing the Lockhart Ranch in 1926, she was no stranger to ranch life. However, professionally, she was a correspondent for the Boston Post, the Philadelphia Bulletin, and the Denver Post, and had published 6 novels. Certainly doesn't seem like the type that would head out to have a life on a ranch in Montana, does she? But she had hoped that the pace of ranch life would allow her time to write more. While operating the Lockhart Ranch, it grew from 160 acres to 6,034 acres. Go girl! It demanded most of her time and energy. However, when 3 loads of Lockhart steers topped the market in Omaha in 1935, Caroline must have indeed felt she was the cattle queen. She found, however, that ranching was hard work, and in 1955 she sold the ranch and moved back to Cody, Wyoming. The Lockhart Ranch Trail can be an easy half-mile trail or extended to 2.1 miles round trip. Ladies, let me know in the comments if you would have enjoyed being the cattle queen of Montana. I don't think I would have. Enjoy your hikes and remember to stop and look around occasionally. Sometimes the best views are behind you. We were fortunate to see a handful of wild horses from the Pryor Mountain Wild Horse Range that extends into the center of the National Recreation Area. Before the horses crossed our path, around a dozen bighorn sheep sauntered across the park road in front of us. What a treat to see the park's namesake animal. The Pryor Mountains Wild Horse Range is a refuge for a historically significant herd of free-roaming Mustangs. The Pryor Mountain Mustang is a feral horse often called wild horses. This was the first protected refuge dedicated exclusively for Mustangs. It was the nation's second feral horse refuge. What's so special about these horses? Top equestrian veterinarians have said the Pryor herd may be the most significant wild horse herd remaining in the United States. And another said that these animals don't exist anywhere else. Well, I found this more intriguing. The mountains were named after Sergeant Nathaniel Hale Pryor, a member of the Lewis and Clark expedition who vainly pursued horses stolen from the expedition in the area. So I wonder if some of their horses got mingled in with these, because it is widely believed that the Pryor Mountain horses were direct descendants of the barb horses brought to North America by Juan de Onate's expedition in the early 1600s when he was there exploring America north of the Rio Grande. The horses that are living on the range weigh between 700 to 800 pounds. The animals exhibit a wide range of solid colors, including bay, black, chestnut, chestnut, dun, groulo, and blue or red roan. The Pryor Mountain Wild Horse Range was established in September of 1968. State Highway 313 provides access to the North District and leads to that visitor center. The 525-foot Yellowtail Dam, 3 trails, and fishing access. Built in 1968, the dam created the 71-mile-long Bighorn Lake, and it is the nation's 15th largest dam. Sadly, dam tours are no longer given. We drove down the state highway a few miles to see buffalo, but soon turned around as most of the sites for this North District are on private or reservation land and cannot be accessed. It is a time-consuming 3 hours to travel from the interstate to the North District Visitor Center. Property around the recreation area belongs to the Crow Reservation land and is off-limits to visitors. Another important note, the Park Road does not connect the North and South Districts. Now for our bonus feature, the nearby Medicine Wheel National Historic Landmark. The National Historic Landmark is located on the Bighorn National Forest in Bighorn County in north-central Wyoming, 25 miles east of Lovell and 46 miles west of Sheridan. Medicine Wheel National Historic Landmark is accessible from mid to late June through mid-September. The wagon wheel-shaped grouping of loaf-sized stones is like an astronomical observatory. It is considered a sacred site as demonstrated by hundreds of pieces of cloth knotted to the perimeter fence. Great views of the Bighorn National Forest, Wind River Range, Bighorn Basin, and Absaroka Mountains are seen along the hike to the wheel. To see the ancient Medicine Wheel high atop the Windy Mountain Plateau at nearly 10,000 feet, visitors walk a barricaded road from the lower parking lot and interpreter's cabin to the Medicine Wheel, which is 1.5 miles uphill. The Medicine Wheel's fascinating features include its stone circle, stone spokes, and the central cairn. Not sure how, but the return hike to the parking lot seemed uphill too. Have you ever been on a hike that seemed uphill both ways? We hadn't, but this one was. It was really different. In addition to its history, the Medicine Wheel is located in one of the most beautiful natural settings in the country. Make this a side stop when going to Bighorn Canyon National Recreation Area. Whether you're exploring the Bighorn Mountains, hiking nearby trails, or just soaking in the majestic views, there's something here for everyone. We had a marvelous week going to other geologic features, including dinosaur tracks, Buffalo Bill Cody sites, canyon drives, and a state park. This region of north central Wyoming is incredible. I want to encourage you to check out my recent videos on backroads in Nevada and Death Valley. Thank you for watching my channel, Hiking Boots on the Ground, Unclassic Road Trip. By the way, you will find Bighorn spelled as one word and as 2 words everywhere, including this video. It seems that either way is correct.